What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast. This is Nate coming at you guys. I've given it some time. I've let the draft kind of digest some and sort of settle in here. And now I'm going to have two videos for you guys. First one coming out here is going to be some of my favorite picks from the 2024 NFL Draft. And before I really get into it, I want you all to know this is nothing about like the player's talent level. It's more so about the spots they were picked in and whether or not I think they fit in well with the team and what the team does and what the team needs. And that's just more of like a prospect to team fit thing that I want to talk about. All these guys are fantastic athletes. They are all more athletic than I am. I know. You don't have to tell me. Let's get into this. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Goldfine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PlaybookSports on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. First guy I want to talk about, Malik Nabers, pick 6 to the Giants. I absolutely love this pick. He gives them something that they don't have, and that is a playmaker at the wide receiver position. Malik Nabers is a stud, depending on who you talk to. He could have been wide receiver 1 this year. He could have been wide receiver 1 in a ton of drafts. Great pick by the Giants here. I know the temptation to take a quarterback or trade up and take a quarterback was there. This is the right pick. It wouldn't matter who's playing quarterback because Bo Nix, any of the guys available, right, after pick 4 or 5, after pick 3, any of those other QBs, Penix, McCarthy, Nix, none of them would produce more than Daniel Jones would produce with that lineup, right? Because if you take one of those QBs, you don't get Malik Nabers. Malik Nabers is a special talent at the end of the day. I absolutely love him as a player, and I think that he gives Daniel Jones and the Giants offense the best chance to succeed this season. This guy I want to talk about, wide receiver Rome Odunze. Obviously, I love the receivers in this class. Rome Odunze is no exception. 6'3", absolute stud receiver, super productive, extremely talented. I really do think that the best pro comp for him is Keenan Allen, who he will get the opportunity to learn from for at least the season in Chicago. Bears very smart to just sit there and let the draft come to them. Not panic, not give up capital and trade up. If you trade up with somebody who wasn't even going to take him, you just give away picks that you don't have. Bears only had 4 picks before they made some trades. Obviously, they ended up with more picks, but you only have a few picks, and they made the absolute most out of them. Love Rome Odunze at pick 9 to Chicago. Next pick I want to talk about here is Olu Fashanu at pick number 11 to the New York Jets, and it pains me to say that I really think the Jets did the right thing here. The fun pick, the all-in this season pick would have probably been like Brock Bowers or another weapon of some sort, but Olu Fashanu is for the future and potentially for the now. You have 2 33-year-old tackles that you're trotting out there. And with the Jets' luck on the offensive line, you just know they are not going to hold up for a season. Tyron Smith has not played an entire season since 2015. It's going on 9 years where he has missed time. You have to have a plan. You have to have something going forward, too, because both these guys, like I said, are 33 years old. And Olu Fashanu is an excellent tackle prospect. Kind of annoyed that the Jets made such a smart move here. The guy I want to talk about is Talize Fuanga at pick 14 to the Saints. Just another really smart pick and another very good player. I have a lot of issues on the offensive line right now. Ryan Ramchik's career is in jeopardy. Trevor Penning has not panned out. You needed to go tackle. Fuanga is a nasty run blocker who is also very solid at pass blocking. They, once again, another team who just sat there and let the draft come to them, and it worked out perfectly for them. They get a right tackle who could play anywhere on the offensive line except center. He could probably even play center. I love Talize Fuanga, probably one of like my second favorite prospect in this class, right behind this guy. Number 15 overall, Laiatu Latu to the Indianapolis Colts. This was probably my favorite player to watch. He's not the most athletic guy in the field. He's not the biggest guy in the field, but damn, is he talented. His pass rush moves are excellent. So refined for this age, such a mature pass rusher. He has counter moves on counter moves. And no, he's not going to blaze by you, but if you come at him and try something to stop him, he already has 2 moves planned out that can beat what you are doing. I think he was the best defensive player in this draft. Him and Quinion Mitchell, probably 1 and 2, somewhere in there. I loved watching Laiatu Latu do what he did. I think that was a very smart pick by the Colts. Kind of goes against their philosophy recently of just drafting the freakiest athletes. This was a smart pick. The most refined pass rusher in the class for sure. Next up, Troy Fautanu at pick 20 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. This one hurt me because I wanted him in Miami at pick 21. Great pick by the Steelers here. You will notice a theme. Steelers are on here a handful of times. Fautanu can play all 5 offensive line positions. And as we saw throughout the draft, the Steelers obviously believe they have to redo their entire offensive line. And Troy Fautanu is a great place to start. Great pick by them to sit and pick. 22, Quinyon Mitchell to Philadelphia seems a little bit unfair. I don't know how the Eagles continue to get away with this, but to have the best corner in the class, pretty much a consensus top 10, top 15 player in the class, just fall to them at 22. Just fall right into their laps at a position of need. This isn't like, a D tackle fell to him. It's not like Jalen Carter fell to him at 22 this year or something like that. This is, we desperately need a corner. Do we have to trade up for him? No, they can just sit there, and the best one in the class just falls right into their lap. It's honestly annoying. Amazing pick, amazing value for Philly. And the last guy from the first round that I want to talk about here is cornerback Terrion Arnold. Detroit moving up, bolstering their secondary. Obviously, that offense can go. The questions are on the defensive side of the ball. Can their defense get them to a Super Bowl? Can their defense play well enough to continue to win games for them? And Terrion Arnold definitely helps that. And it is kind of funny, they totally screwed the Packers by jumping right in front of them and probably taking the guy they would take, forcing the Packers to kind of reach a little bit on Jordan Morgan. But I thought that it was a fantastic pick by Detroit to go up and get their guy. Someone who many people have as CB1 in this class. Great pick. Let's go ahead and move into round 2. A couple of my favorite picks here. Actually, just day 2, so we'll do rounds 2 and 3. So starting off with Jerzon Johnny Newton at pick 36. This guy's a first-round talent. I don't know what the hell we were all thinking, letting him fall out of the first round. And then a few picks after that. Fantastic pick by Washington here. Just unbelievable talent to be available at 36. That's crazy. Next up, Philadelphia. Welcome back. Cooper DeJean. Again, why is this guy available in the second round? What are we doing? And also, they also screwed Green Bay because Green Bay was sitting there at 41 like, yeah, we're going to get Cooper DeJean anyways. We could have taken him at 25, but no, we held off. We're going to get him here. And then Philly's like, just kidding. No, you're not. And Philly jumps in front of him, steals Cooper DeJean, who can, again, fills an immediate need in the secondary, can play corner, can play safety. I feel like we're undervaluing him because we think he can't play corner and he's a safety. That's not true. This guy is a freak athlete. Look at the combine numbers. He's an excellent athlete. He can play anywhere in the secondary, which is what Philly needs. He's a chess piece back there. I know it's a cliche, but for him it's the truth. Love that pick at pick 40. Next up, I've got linebacker Edgerrin Cooper to Green Bay. I know Green Bay got screwed a couple times by trades, but they end up getting a guy who's an absolute stud. He was my linebacker 1 in the class. Some people had Colson above him. Some people may have had Wilson above him. I was a huge fan of Edgerrin Cooper's game, and Green Bay had a serious need at linebacker, so now they can pair up him and Quay Walker for the future, and there's your 2 guys in the middle. You look at teams that went far this year in their linebacking cores. They're solid. Detroit invested a first round in it last year. The Chiefs have Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. The 49ers have Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. And the Ravens, Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith. You need middle linebackers to wear that green dot, to lead that defense, and I love that pick for Green Bay, truthfully. Pittsburgh, welcome back. Zach Frazier at pick 51 was an absolute steal. This guy is a day 1 starter in my opinion. This is a 10 to 15 year starter for them. 158-2 as a high school wrestler is unbelievable. 4-time state champion. You're not going to get lower than him. He's going to get lower than you. He is a mountain of a man, just so thick, so strong. You just plump him right down in guard or center, wherever you want to, and just forget about it for a long time. This is the Creed Humphrey of this draft class, where it's like, this guy's an all-pro. How did they get him at pick 51? Zach Frazier. Great pick here. Again, right before my Dolphins could get him. Thanks. On to the third round. I've got Braylon Trice at pick 74 here. I just think that this was a little late for him to go, honestly. High floor guy. Maybe not the highest ceiling, maybe not the most athletic, but he really fell down. Like this post-season combine, all the stuff leading up to the draft only hurt his stock because he's not the best athlete, but he gets the production on the field. He puts up good numbers, very high motor. I like Braylon Trice a lot, and at 74, this was a good pick for Atlanta to kind of redeem themselves after 2 very questionable first 2-round picks. I also want to talk about Junior Colson at pick 69 to the Chargers. A lot of people thought he could go early second round, maybe even late first round. Very good linebacker, very rangy, great sideline to sideline speed. Really good pick here. I like the linebackers in this class. A lot of people didn't like them, and you'll see with the next guy I talk about, I really like the top 3 linebackers and where they all went. They all could have been early second-round picks like Edgerrin Cooper was, and only one of them was. But reuniting with Jim Harbaugh in LA, I think it's just a great pick for them all around. The last guy I want to talk about from day 2 is Peyton Wilson at pick 98. Great pick by the damn Steelers again. I know the injury concerns are real with him, but man, when he's on the field, he is so good. So fast. Look at the testing numbers. Out of this world. Very productive linebacker. Just need him to stay healthy, and I think he is a long-term middle linebacker for Pittsburgh Steelers. Great pick once again. And then round 4, I just want to hit on a few of these guys here real fast. The first 2 that you see on the screen here, we've got Ja'Tavion Sanders at 101 and Troy Franklin at 102. Ja'Tavion Sanders, really good at Texas. Was that because Sarkisian was scheming him open? I don't know. Either way, he looked good. Wasn't as athletic as I thought he might be when it came to the testing, but he played better on the field. He looked more athletic on the field. That's what matters. So I like him to Carolina at 101. Great value in my opinion. And then right after that, Troy Franklin at 102. I love that Denver went and got their new quarterback, his favorite weapon from college. Also, how on earth is Troy Franklin available at pick 102? We are not far removed from him being mocked at the end of the first round, early second round, and he falls all the way to 102. Steal. Absolute steal. Denver traded away Jerry Jeudy this offseason. Troy Franklin steps right in and already has a great connection with his quarterback. Last couple guys here I want to talk about. Eric All to Cincinnati at 118. He's an Iowa tight end. Stamp of approval right there. I'm honestly not kidding. If you play tight end and you're at Iowa, you're going to be solid in the NFL. If nothing else, good blocker. I think he could honestly play quite a bit for Cincinnati this season because I don't think Gesicki's going to fit in with that offense. He just can't block. Eric All can do it all. Very good pick here from them. And I'd be remiss if I didn't have a single Dolphin here in the first 4 rounds. Jalen Wright at pick 120. I like the value there, honestly. Very, very explosive running back. Sound familiar? Devon Achane. Miami's just adding speed, just continuing to pile it in there. Last year, our running back room was absolutely decimated with injuries. I mean, we had to have Salvon Ahmed take serious carries and Jeff Wilson take some serious carries. Jalen Wright, young, durable, crazy athlete, fits right into the Miami backfield day 1. We'll get plenty of reps between him, Mostert, and Achane. And then last guy of the 4th round here, TJ Tampa, pick 130 to Baltimore. Just another steal, honestly. I don't know how he was still available here. Another one of those early kind of day 2 talking about guys. We're thinking, he's going to go early second round. Falls all the way to the end of the 4th round and goes to Baltimore. Fantastic pick. Love that pick for Baltimore. TJ Tampa, I'm a fan. And then just a few other late round pick guys I want to discuss just quickly. Won't show them up on the screen or anything. Pick 150, Spencer Rattler to New Orleans. Love that as a kind of insurance policy to Derek Carr. Really think he could step in and play if needed. Hopefully he's matured. Obviously I know that the QB1 documentary that they did, he looked terrible. Very easy to root against. And then obviously goes to Oklahoma and is the guy and then gets replaced and bounced around. And just will be a good backup for sure. And he's talented. Maybe not the guy we all thought he would be, but he is talented. And then we've got at pick 155, Jeremiah Trotter to Philadelphia. Once again, on the board, Philadelphia, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. No, he's not as great as his dad was, but at pick 155, can't hate this. Betting on the upside, very productive linebacker in college, big fan of him. And then pick 158, got another Dolphin here. Mo Kamara, super productive edge rusher. Does not have all the measurables you would want. He's kind of like the opposite of Chop Robinson, right? Chop Robinson's someone who didn't have all the production, but we can project that, and he has all of these elite tools. Muhammad Kamara had all of the production in college, but he doesn't have the elite tools, and you start wondering, okay, did he just produce because of where he was in school, or what was going on here? But at the end of the day, at 158, that's a great pick for Miami. Just another edge rusher, as we obviously need depth, considering we were trotting out Bruce Irvin for the playoff game, and he had signed, the ink was not even dry on his 1-week-old contract. And then last guy I want to talk about from favorite picks, I like the Joe Milton to New England pick. I don't know if this guy can play quarterback. I really don't. What I do know is he can throw a football 100 yards pretty damn easily. And he has an absolute rocket for an arm. If you can even mold him just a little bit, he could be genuinely dangerous. To everyone's safety, because when he throws the football, he doesn't know where it's going. And if it hits you just right, it will take your head off. I would not want to catch a pass from him. That would
break both of my hands very quickly. Why not take a shot at 193? He's got an elite trait. If you can get a guy with an elite trait, which is his throw power, at pick 193, you do that. Yeah, the rest of his traits are unbelievably raw and not very good, but he has an elite trait. Nobody else that you're picking at 193 can do something elite, like Joe Milton can throw the football hard. So those are my favorite picks from the 2024 NFL Draft, and there's a ton of guys on here that I liked too that I just didn't talk about because I could spend hours talking about this draft class and the top tier talent that I think is coming into the league this season, but I don't have that kind of time. Nobody does. So that's all I've got for you guys in this one. I will have my least favorite video coming out shortly, and then coming soon we will have a full group breakdown of the draft with our favorite picks, who did the best, who did the worst from a team standpoint, and then who we think of all of these drafted players can win Rookie of the Year in the AFC and the NFC, or offensive and defensive, and just kind of what we saw and what we liked. So stay tuned for that one. Those videos will be out shortly, and we will see you guys in the next one.